How can you skip the line for one of the most popular restaurants in Gatlinburg? And is it worth even skipping? Let's take a look at the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company and learn more about this popular chain restaurant. Welcome to Bear Facts, where we explore the Smoky Mountains one bear fact at a time. If you were born after the 1990s, you will most likely have little true appreciation for the history or context of the restaurant Bubba Gump Shrimp Company. But for those old-timers like me, you know that the chain was based on a fictional character, Bubba, from the Paramount movie Forrest Gump. And though Bubba was a side character, he ended up with his name all over the chain restaurant. And if you are familiar with the movie, you will also have a better appreciation for the nuances and detailing you find throughout the restaurant decor. The actual restaurant was started by Anthony, now I'm probably going to say this completely wrong, Zolizzi, who bought the rights for Bubba Gump Shrimp Company from Paramount Pictures in 1995 to help with his, big surprise, seafood company. He went from selling his prepackaged shrimp in the grocery stores to creating a successful chain of restaurants called Bubba Gump Shrimp Company. In 2010, Landry's bought it for a reported $120 million. Now, how or why Bubba Gump ended up in the Smoky Mountains was a complete mystery to me until I learned that they had filmed part of the movie in the Smokies, and that Forrest Gump ran through the Blue Ridge Parkway around Grandfather Mountain during his famous running scene in the movie. And now I also need to find that famous curve where Tom Hanks is running through the Blue Ridge. I guess there's a sign that even says Forrest Gump Curve. Now, if you already knew that, you are either a super fan of Forrest Gump or just really observant. Either way, good for you. But knowing why they put the restaurant there doesn't answer the next two questions. How do you skip the lines, and is it worth bothering to go to the place in the first place? The first question is the easy one to answer. The second one, not so much. Before I continue with that answer, if you're enjoying this video, please help us out by clicking the like button. Oliver is always happy to get more likes and especially subscribers. So let's start with the easy question. How to skip the line? I actually stumbled on this little hack when doing my Disney research. I learned that the Rainforest Cafe and Yak and Yeti are both owned by Landry's, and that they offer membership that you can buy that gives you a $25 a year birthday coupon and VIP membership privileges, which includes priority seating. They own a bunch of other restaurants, and Bubba Gump just happens to be one. The price for membership is a one-time only fee of $25, and they give you a $25 credit to use at one of the restaurants when you become a member. So if you are planning on going to one of their locations anyway, it's basically free. Once you pay the $25, they send you your membership card in the mail. I don't like carrying all those reward cards, so I keep the Landry's app on my phone instead of carrying the card. Though cell phone reception is very touchy in Gatlinburg, a screenshot is also good if you're like me and don't want to carry a card. There is also a reward system for visiting their businesses, but we don't go often enough and I haven't earned anything that way. I just like that you get a $25 a year birthday credit at no additional cost. And that's how they got us to finally try the Bubba Gumps in Gatlinburg. I had the $25 credit and was able to use the VIP priority seating, and we were hungry. So we finally tried this location. Now, I have been to Bubba Gump's before. It was in New York City years ago, and I wasn't overly impressed with them, though any place you can find on Times Square is going to be a tourist trap, so we didn't have high expectations. When I saw that they had one in Gatlinburg, I didn't exactly run to eat there. With so many wonderful locally owned places close by, we thought, why go again? On top of that, every time we passed the place, it was crowded. If you're not familiar with Gatlinburg, let me explain where Bubba Gump's is located. The restaurant is on 321, just past Ripley's Believe It or Not. The actual restaurant doesn't have its own parking for the public, so you'll most likely need to pay for parking, unless you're staying at a hotel nearby with parking or snag one of those rare freebies by the river. There are several places close by, ranging from $10 to $25 a day for parking, depending on the time of the year or distance from the center of Gatlinburg you go. We usually park at the public parking garage at the 441-321 intersection when visiting Gatlinburg. It's a little bit more than half a mile walk up a slight incline, but keep in mind the way back will all be downhill. Also, getting out of this parking garage is far easier than trying to get out of the other ones closer to the center of Gatlinburg. Traffic on this part of 321 can get very busy. But for those of you who don't mind paying a little more and aren't bothered by the traffic, there is a parking garage right across from the restaurant behind the old Smoky moonshine and many other places close by. We're just too cheap to pay that price. Bubba Gump's is not hard to find either. You will want to look for the Space Needle and keep heading past it to the next intersection. At night, they have the place lit up and it's hard to miss, though there are a lot of bright neon signs on the parkway at night, so I could see how you might actually miss them. It's on the corner of Airport Road and the Parkway. Old Smoky is across the street and the Hollywood Car Museum is right next to them. Bubba Gump Shrimp Company can get very busy at times and they are popular. If you don't have a Landry's VIP card, I would try visiting during off-peak times if you don't want to wait. If you have a Landry's card, let the host know and show them your card or your screenshot on your phone. They will do their best to accommodate you and get you seated right away. You might still have a short wait, but it won't be as long as you would if you were a walk-in. It is a really fun experience to walk in and get ahead of the line, though I do feel a little guilty too. So the next question I have is this: is it worth going to Bubba Gump Shrimp Company at all? If you watch my videos, you will already know the answer I'm going to give. It all depends on what kind of experience you're looking for. If you want to experience local cuisine or support local businesses, this is not going to meet your expectations. Bubba Gump's is a chain restaurant with over 34 locations around the world. You will not be experiencing anything local. But if you enjoyed the movie Forrest Gump or looking for a restaurant with lots of character, color, and a lively atmosphere, then this might be the perfect place for you. When you enter the restaurant, the first thing you see in the main lobby is the hostess waiting to see people. The restaurant has 2 levels, and a staircase to the second level is next to the host station. If you have a party member with mobility issues, there is an elevator in the back of the restaurant. This elevator is also located close to the bathrooms. Now, this is Gatlinburg, and since it can get very busy, the restaurant deters non-guests from using their facilities by putting it in the farthest corner of the restaurant as possible. And if you end up in the kitchen instead of the bathroom, you won't be the first person to do this. They are really confusing to find. Of course, there's also a souvenir shop on the first floor across from the host station. Here you can find many fun tourist treasures. Their main selling point in the shop is Forrest Gump inspired merchandise. You can be a proud owner of a Bubba Gump Shrimp Company shirt in many colors or get one of their mugs as well. They have a lot of seating by the windows if you want to watch the streets below, and they can accommodate larger parties. You can always request window seating, but your Landry's card won't help you out there. Once you are seated, you will be provided a full food menu as well as a bar menu. They have a lot of fun drinks as well as beers, wines, and other items to choose from. If you get one of their signature drinks like this one, sometimes you can pay to keep the glass. At least at the time we went, that was the promotion. Though keep in mind that Gatlinburg is a dry city. You are not allowed to have open liquor when walking around the town. So the restaurant has to make sure you empty it before leaving or give you a clean glass. That's why you won't see people walking around with beers, moonshines, or margaritas in Gatlinburg. You'll note that there are license plates at every table. One is red and one is blue. The idea is that when you flip it to red, it tells Forrest to stop running. This is the system the restaurant uses to let the waiter know you need them to stop at your table because you need something. Honestly, we didn't see anyone using them, but it is fun and unique idea. You can ask your server more about it when you sit, especially if this is your first time in the restaurant. Now, when you look at the menu, you see lots of shrimp items. From fried shrimp, shrimp scampi, Cajun flavored shrimp, coconut shrimp, shrimp combo platters. There are lots of shrimp. Of course, I had to try something with shrimp, so I tried the mac and cheese with shrimp. Though this was an appetizer, it can be eaten as a full meal. It's served in a hot skillet pan and is loaded with decent-sized shrimp and cheese. Even though it's an appetizer, I was happy with it as a meal, and it actually tasted pretty decent. But my hubby isn't a big fan of seafood, so he got the hamburger. The burger came with fries. It's not a huge serving, but it was cooked to order and actually had a decent flavor. The video really doesn't do it justice. There are lots of other items that don't have fish. There is a deep fried chicken platter, steak and ribs. Though their food is decent, if you're looking for local barbecue, I would consider Puckett's in Pigeon Forge or Hungry Bear in Gatlinburg. Both have good local barbecue options, and you'll be supporting local businesses. Bubba Gump's is really best for their variety of shrimp dishes. Though if you're like me and have a party member who doesn't like shrimp or fish, at least you know there's options on the menu for everyone. You won't be surprised to find the prices are not cheap. You will average $25 a person, and that won't include drinks or appetizers. This price range is pretty standard for most of the sit-down restaurants in Gatlinburg. So keep that in mind when budgeting for your trip. To be honest, you are paying for the experience. It's a unique experience, and the environment is fun and lively. We have been there since about twice now and have had excellent service. Though when they are busy, you will find it slower to get your food. The servers try to be upbeat and keep the guests happy, or at least entertained. So here's my takeaway. First off, I always try not to give my opinion or offer unnecessary advice when talking about the businesses in my videos. There are far too many people out there willing to hand that out. Instead, I want you to understand what kind of experience you can expect when visiting. Bubba Gump's Shrimp Company is a lively, fun experience that many people will really enjoy. The staff is fun, and the decor has a lot of fun, Forrest Gump-inspired details. The pricing is on par with a high tourist destination, and if you're on a strict budget, I would look closely at their pricing online and make sure it fits your budget before going. They can get very, very busy, and I would expect a wait if you're visiting during a holiday weekend or during peak season, such as summer break, mid-fall, or leaf peaking season, or Christmas. It isn't exactly a place to go if you're trying to eat healthy or have strict dietary needs, but there is something on the menu for almost everyone. Parking isn't easy, but that's the case for most places in Gatlinburg. And even if you have to wait, there's still a lot to look at in the area. If you have anything more to add or want to share your experience, please let us know about it in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for visiting us here at Fairfax, the Smoky Mountains. Please continue to support our channel by giving us a like and click that subscribe button. Thank you.